Hi, this is Dr. Hyde. I wanted to welcome you to the course. This is EDS 507, Equity in the Social Cultural Context of Education. I used to call it social theory, so you might hear me referring to the course that way. And we changed the course a few years back. So like I said in my overview, this is the first time that I'm teaching this course online, and I haven't taught the course for a while, but the last time that I taught it was face-to-face. And so I completely rebuilt the course this summer, and I hope you enjoy it. So what you're looking at right now is the course homepage, and I'm going to use a few use the announcement tool for a few things. First, any kind of changes that or feedback that I want to give the whole group, I'll send out by email, but then I'll also post under announcements. And then things that I find that I think you might be interested in, I'll also post that on announcements. So for example, back on June 29th, I found an article that is commenting on a recent text called White Fragility. And white fragility is a commentary on how white people think about race and why they are hesitant to engage in conversations about race. And the implication is that they are afraid of the cognitive dissonance that's going to occur for them thinking of themselves as good people, but recognizing what other white people have done in the past to non-white people. So Jamel Bowie is critiquing that book here, and you can take a look at that if you want. Some other free books that I might find, some free resources you have here, and other resources for the course. So the vocabulary list, maybe you're going to be encountering vocabulary you're not familiar with. Of course, you're going to look everything up that you read that you're not familiar with, right? That's what you do. That's why you either write in your books or use a notebook when you're reading. But I wanted to give you a starting place to go for how sociologists of education use the terms that you're going to be encountering. Okay, so let's get down to the content. This is how you'll navigate through the course. Before we go in there, you can see that I've put your assignments due dates on the calendar. The discussions don't have a close date, so they're not going to appear on the calendar. And I thought about adding that to other courses. For all the courses, this is what's happening, is that the discussions aren't appearing unless they have close dates, but I don't want to have the close dates for the discussion. So what you'll be following for to keep track of what you have to do is actually the list on the syllabus. So if you pop open the syllabus, sometimes I have a syllabus and a schedule document separately, but this is, I think the schedule is all the way down here on this one, yeah. So you'll see when the discussions are due. These are the modules, the start and the finish date. So the end date of the module is when your discussions and all of your work for that module are actually due, even though the discussions don't come up in the calendar. Go back to the course home and go back to these, the content browser. So getting started actually has an overview page, an HTML overview page, but it does not have a video like the other modules do. So this, I guess, is your overview video. You can look at the resources up here. This is a summary chart of this text. So when I used to teach this course face-to-face, we would use a blank chart and sort out the contents of this book into the chart. So I'm giving you this as a freebie. Thank those who came before you as we did this in class together. So it might be something to take a look at while you're reading this course text. Up here is a reference list for all of the required reading. I am not sure if I have the supplemental reading in there, but this also is a nice gift when you're doing citations. This is a reference list in APA format. And this is a link to the Sage Encyclopedia for the Sociology of Education. So certainly when you look at terms, you can just Google them, but this encyclopedia will give you background on the terms that you encounter as they're understood by sociologists and sociologists of education, educational sociologists, however you think of that. You can tell I need an updated picture here to show that I stopped coloring my hair. I think a lot of us did as we're staying at home and feeling okay with how we are and how we look. So I have on these overview HTML pages, you'll find links to the material that you need. Here's the link to the syllabus, the link to the technical information. And this page tells you about how the course works. So for each module, you should first go to the overview page and you'll see introductory descriptions and a video of the presentation, along with whatever writing activities you have to do and links to the discussion posts. So I would say when you start your work in the module, start with the HTML pages, which are the overview pages. And then you can read a little bit more about what I do if you want to look at my research and scholarship focus. For those of you who don't know me, people think of me as the yoga lady. Even though I don't teach courses, live courses on campus anymore, I did get to teach the Honors College undergrads a mindfulness fundamentals course recently, and that was really nice, and I would like to teach that again. It's not, I don't have a skill yet with teaching mindfulness online, but lots of my colleagues do, and if anyone's interested in taking mindfulness or yoga courses for yourselves or for your students or children, let me know. I have lots of colleagues who are doing things entirely online right now. Down here is my contact information too. So I have a lot to do. Doesn't everybody this term? But I'm generally going to be available from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I check my email a lot, not just once during the day. Although I do reserve the hours of 9 to 10 for doing yoga. And then after about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, I take a walk. And after 7, I don't look at electronics. So let's go back to the course homepage here. I'll show you where the discussions are. Now, again, you can link to the discussions directly from the overview page, or you can come up here to communications and go to the discussion links here. And then you'll find them here. And so I tried to make them relatable to the course content material. And I hope you enjoy talking to each other on the discussions. This is really for you as graduate students. You can learn as much from each other as you can from me. You're the practitioners, a lot of you, are teaching, and so you have experiences working in educational settings right now. And for those of you who don't, you'll be interested in what the active teachers have to say on here. The assessments, when you, again, from the overview pages are going to have links to the assignments, but if you prefer the top hand navigation, assessment assignments, and then you'll see where the submission Dropbox take you. So for the course, what you have are essays. You have 3 essays, and I invite you to submit drafts. They're optional. That means you don't have to do them, and they're not graded. But if you do submit a draft, I will provide feedback for you. There's where you put your 3 essays. And then in addition to the discussions, you have a book review, and it's a professional book review, and I ask you to follow the guidelines set out by Teachers College Record. You are not required to submit this for publication, but once you're done, you'll be able to if you want to. I also invite you to submit a draft, ungraded, optional, but if you provide a draft, I will provide you with feedback. The grade tools, there's no one's grades in, so I don't mind showing you right now on this video, but when you go to the grade tool, you will just see your own grades. You won't see how this looks. This is the instructor view. But the grades will show, you'll be able to see your own grade here and how you're doing, right? And if this is confusing for you, you let me know. And if you're going through here and you realize, oh, hey, I just participated in discussion number 4, but I don't see that you entered anything, let me know, because when I go to enter grades, I'll show you what this looks like. Let's see. So I read your discussions in one section. There's another way to do it, but I'm just explaining what I do. I read your discussions. I might occasionally pop in to discuss, but I find that when I pop in, it kind of shuts down discussion. People get intimidated when I come in and start talking. So, but I might come in to comment and just ignore me. So after I read your discussion, as long as you've made a sincere effort, then you'll get your points here. But I'll just go down after everyone's finished 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and sometimes I go faster than what can be recorded. So if you see that you have a grade missing, just let me know so I can correct that. Let me see if I have the syllabus popped up here. I do. So you can see the course topics and the text readings, and we go all the way up. You can see that everything is worth 20%. I'm going to try to grade everything within 48 hours of the due dates. Now, I have 2 online graduate courses with assignments that are due every Sunday, or when they're due, Sundays at midnight. And I teach Monday morning. So I'm thinking, and I teach on Wednesdays too. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are probably going to be my days for reading and grading. So it actually might take me all week to get the the graduate work read and graded. My usually face-to-face undergraduate courses are being Zoomed, and it's just a lot more work. And you probably know that if you're doing distance teaching, you know that too. Not only are you showing up for a class, but then there's just a lot to do online. So some of you have already taken a look at the book review assignment, and I just sent you a link so that you can record your book selection. Amy already selected something, so let's populate that spreadsheet with a list of books names, and before you go to choose a book, check on that spreadsheet so that you don't pick something someone else took, because at the end in Module 8, what you'll be doing is sharing your book reviews with your classmates, and it would be nice if we were able to have however many are you, 16 separate book reviews. And that just adds to our store of information, especially if we're interested in these books. So you have 12 reviews that you can easily read. Going backwards is probably aggravating some people. This is a description of the short essays. This is formal writing, meaning use standard American English conventions, use APA format, including in-text citations. And if you are need a reminder of APA, like I do, everything I write, I always use the Purdue's Online Writing Lab, or the OWL, and there's links to that in the course. And there's one right there. I always look, and they do change. The APA format, especially for references, they do change. So as you're writing, go ahead and have that open to make sure that you're using the right format. So there's 3 guiding questions in the course, and that's what you're going to be writing your essays on. So let's go all the way up here. There you go. There's your guiding questions. So essay 1 is going to respond to this prompt. Essay 2 responds to this prompt. Essay 3 responds to this prompt. And you might find information, like these are just hints. So this one for sure is going to be the Feinberg and Soltis text. This one is going to be multicultural education or cultural studies, but you might find information from other modules as well. And I know the discussion of neoliberalism crosses at least 2 different modules. So, but this is what you're writing your essays on. And that's it. So it's the discussion modules, the essays, and the book review. And they're, I guess the content is heavy. It's thick, especially if you're not coming from a social science background. So I didn't want to overload you. You'll find that the modules have a lot more resources than what are required. So just pay attention to what you are asked to read. And like I said, the overview pages are going to show you, and I'll go to one into a minute. So some of these are also videos, and I want to call your attention to College Behind Bars. So in Module 6, you have fewer readings because I'm going to ask you to watch, or maybe you've seen it before, rewatch all 4 parts of College Behind Bars. The fabulous Ken Burns production. And I really learned a lot about the educational past of people who are in prison, the educational programs, and their future trajectories. And I think it's worthwhile to include in a course on equity. Okay. So let's see if there's anything else worth talking about. And please go ahead and email me your questions for sure. But I think the syllabus is kind of, modest, so not as interesting. All right, let's pop into one of the modules. Let's go into module 2. So you have here the links to your readings and the supplemental readings, I think I have some PowerPoint presentations in there too, but let me show you where I have the PowerPoint presentations. Oh my goodness. So Western Online is sometimes sensitive, kind of buggy. I don't like this view. If you're getting stuck in here, just refresh your browser. Western Online is really going to be challenged this semester. Okay, so under getting started, I have all the PowerPoint files. So I created my presentations in PowerPoint, and they have hyperlinks. But when you view them as YouTube videos, you can't access the hyperlinks. So when I say that this is hyperlinked, and if you want to access that, then you can download the presentation's PowerPoint files here. So there, it's the unnarrated slides that I'm using, but they have the hyperlinks. Okay. So we'll just pop into a module. Here's all the material, but look for the little globe symbol. I think that's what that's supposed to be for the HTML page. And you'll see that you can do everything from here too. So maybe this works better for you. This has a little summary of the readings, some links to some bonus material that might supplement the readings or give you some background on the author. A list of the text of the required readings here. See, 1, 2, 3, almost half are videos, so don't be scared with the length there. Supplemental materials will be here, as well as supplemental videos. And then finally, the narrated presentations. And then down here, these are going to link to your submission files. So this will take you to discussion 8. You can engage in it right there. And this takes you to the assignment Dropbox for essay number 2. Okay. So the HTML pages might be the only place you ever need to go to in the course. Under communication, you have an email link. I do not like using the email here because you can't reply to it. So you can, if you want to communicate with your classmates, you can use this if you want to, or you can reply or capture the emails from the blast emails that I send to the class. You can, I think in the on the spreadsheet with the books, you've got emails there, or just open up your Western email and start typing somebody's name, and usually it'll pop up there. But I don't like to use the email function here because you can't reply. It comes to my Western email, but it does. You can't reply from there. So I always send things from the Western email. You have to use your Western email for this course. It's the only way you're going to get in, but also it's the only way you're going to be able to see communications from me as well. So I hope you enjoy what I've assembled for you. I look forward to hearing your thoughts about the work. Please do let me know if you have any concerns about the class, any questions whatsoever. And geez, it's a terrible, rough time for everybody. So um, let's be nice. Let's be patient with each other. Let's take care of ourselves. Thanks.